We all have nostalgic games that we played during computer time in elementary school, from point-and-click classics like Pajama Sam to dodging underpaid IT workers trying to find that one website still hosting Fancy Pants. Rest in peace, Flash. However, there is one game I hardly ever hear brought up when talking about their favorites from their childhood. And yet, to my school, this name was as common as Mario, Master Chief, or Sonic. And while the gameplay never got as deep, or the production quality was never as high as the other gaming giants of that era, it stuck out with a sense of warmth and comfort that I haven't seen a game hit me with since. And that game is... Published right before the turn of the millennium on December 1st, 1999, this masterpiece was made by Pangea Software for Mac OS 9 and ended up getting included in Apple's iBooks back in the day. Which is why most of us ended up playing it in school rather than learning anything. Either that or the education system's broke, but hey, it's easier to blame video games, right? The game got generally good reviews around its release, and its developers, Pangea Software, consider it their most popular game they made for Mac. Yet, despite this, the game still fell into relative obscurity. It's a shame, too. The story behind the game gets absolutely wild. There are some big-name developers that get involved, and even the FBI makes a cameo. I'm not even joking. But before that, let's talk about the game itself, alright? You play as our pillbug hero, Rolly McFly. And while you may think that sounds like a stupid name, that's only because you're thinking from the perspective of a stupid human brain. To his bug brain, your name sounds stupid, Derek. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Derek, you human-centric scum. Your quest is to free the Bugdom from the evil clutches of King Thorax and save as many ladybugs as you can along the way. Way to reinforce gender stereotypes, real classy. Dated archetypes aside, it's a simple story, but it immediately gets outshone by its main appeal, its charm. The character designs, the world, the music, it all comes together to make this feeling of innocence that I haven't really felt in a game before, or since. From the bouncy, energetic music of the first levels, to the hurried and intimidating music of the Hive, sounding exactly what you think an orchestra of bees would sound like. The scale of being a bug and seeing the world from their size makes the already pretty large levels seem even larger. The game's UI was stylized and cute, and Rolly's portrait would even change to show how many keys you were holding at the time. Every level has its own little title card. Even the main menu was adorable. It was a little spider's web, and when you clicked on an option, the spider would scuttle over to it for you. But in all seriousness, fuck these guys. In terms of gameplay, it's a little simple. You can walk, jump, kick, and roll. Hey, to be fair, you can also do a spin dash ripoff, and that kick is one of the most satisfying moves to pull off in gaming. You just wind back Rolly's leg and right in the face! Send that asshole flying!
This is blasphemy! This is madness! Madness. This is Sparta!
There's also a little bee called Buddybug that you can find in each level, who homes in on enemies to kill them. But what Bugdom lacks in terms of depth and originality, it more than makes up for in level design. The levels are laid out in a semi-linear structure, with big open areas strung together to make one cohesive level. This, along with the art direction, along with late 90s render distance, makes the levels feel absolutely ginormous. The level's also filled to the brim with collectibles to find, from the ladybugs we mentioned earlier, to nuts just scattered about waiting to be busted. Hey, don't judge! He has a stressful job saving the Bugdom. Sometimes you gotta relieve some stress by busting a nut. I'm gonna use level 2 as an example of this level design. The level spawns you on a hill with a valley around it. You walk to the other side of the valley and you see 3 locked gates. Once finding the first key, the first gate takes you to another open area filled with boxer flies that'll punch your ass straight out and nuts just waiting to be busted. Once finding the key in that area, the second gate takes you to an elongated area with more enemies to kill and more nuts to bust. The third gate is a narrow hallway filled with water, a simple and non-intrusive way of teaching you that you can swim in this game. You may think the level's getting close to being over after going through 3 gates, but you're wrong! You are so wrong! You're like 50% done, at least! After swimming, or I guess hopping across the water since it's faster, you'll find an optional gate with a ladybug behind it, and a completely optional path alongside the river. But going forward, you'll see another gate holding another open area. Beyond that, a giant lake to explore, with a few islands to hop on, one of which holding the key you need to go through the final gate. And another river that goes to yet another optional area, this one even holding one of the rare elusive golden clovers. Only 4 of those bad boys exist in this game.
Money, 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 motherfucker. Money on my motherfucking mind. Cut 5 haircuts at the same time. White gold pants, jet ski, man, a wine. Foie gras, bust of Albert Einstein. Get money.
A great game is a game that can keep you entertained the whole way through, but a masterpiece is a game that can keep you entertained even outside the game. And believe me, the further down the rabbit hole you go with Bugdom, the better it gets. Or I guess in this sense you'd call it an anthill. I'm sorry. Pangea Soft developed the game for Mac computers, but left ports to PC up to outsourced companies. The first of these was Hoplite Research, who ported the game and had it published by a now defunct company called Gathering of Developers, or Gathering for short. Later on, Gathering was bought out by Take-Two Interactive, owners of big names like Rockstar Games and 2K. Upon the acquisition, another company ended up getting the rights to porting the game again. This time, it was ported by Ideas from the Deep. Now, despite not owning the rights to port Bugdom anymore, Take-Two Interactive kept selling copies of the game, which prompted Ideas from the Deep to contact the actual FBI to get involved. FBI, open up!
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Now, the reason behind Ideas from the Deep taking such drastic action against them was mostly because they apparently didn't have the capital needed to take on Take-Two in court. With one of the co-founders, Lane Roth, stating that the least expensive lawyer they could find still had a quote for $200,000. So just who are these developers who ported over Bugdom a second time and had the balls to take on Take-Two with the FBI? You may know these guys as the creators behind some of the greatest games of all time and grandfathers of their genre, Doom and Wolfenstein. These guys were none other than id Software. id was founded in January of 1989 by co-founders John Romero and Lane Roth. But after splitting off, Roth continued to operate under the original Ideas from the Deep name. Today, Pangea focuses more on mobile gaming, and most of their classic Mac games they released are now freeware. However, they stated they have no plans to update their old games to support 64-bit computers, meaning one day, we won't be able to play these games anymore. But, this is where a hero named Elias Horio steps in. Horio remastered Bugdom for current Mac and Windows, and Pangea even featured a link for it on their Bugdom page on their website. This version, to my knowledge, is also the only version that has controller support, and my god, I was floored when I saw that! I was shook, my dudes, I was shook! Today, thanks to the hard work of Elias Horio and the support from Pangea Soft, it's easier than ever to play Bugdom. And while it may be a dated, buggy, slightly hard to play game, I'd still recommend it to anyone who loves 3D collectathons. But the charm and personality is why I stay. From boxing mosquitoes to buff JoJo-esque bees, this game has some of the most creative character designs I've ever seen, and tied with some of the most immersive music and one of the most charming worlds I've ever seen, it's definitely worth a play. So try giving the game a shot. It's literally free these days. And who knows, you might just be crazy enough to see why it's not only one of mine, but many people's favorite gaming experiences. But that's all the time we have for now, so until next video, have a good one. Hey, thanks for watching! If you made it this far, that means you're one of the cool kids who watched the whole video. Maybe you could be even cooler and hit the like and subscribe button? I know a lot of YouTubers ask that all the time anyway, but I thought, hey, it works apparently, and I thought I'd give it a shot. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You guys judge me on the internet forever? Please don't. Anyway, I have some other videos if you want to try checking them out. They're mostly skits related to video games, which are mostly Nintendo related, but they're pretty cringe. I thought they'd be a fun thing to try out while learning how to edit and whatnot, so if you want to watch more of my stuff, they're up right now. And if you're into this video, I'm going to be working with another Pangea Soft game coming up here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's all I have for now, so I'll see you guys next video.